championship round. Salgado trying to sort things out. The clock has started. He needs to knock. Well, not his day against Fire Zone. 2.6.
That's one of the trickier bulls in this championship round. There's just so much speed and intensity. He comes way up in the front end. 46.65 on the bull score. Starting us off with a huge bull score.
So this next pairing, ramifications, ripples through the field. Maverick Smith, if he bucks off Firefight, that means Marco Rizzo will be the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, there's huge implications on this one ride right here. Firefight, he was one of those bulls on the column that you do not want. So Mav Smith is going to have to dig deep and find a way to win this matchup if he wants to be Rookie of the Year.
It's turned into quite the dogfight to win that rookie title. And it's because Maverick Smith made it interesting over these past 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's the one title you only get one shot at. It means so much to these guys.
Explain why they bring that post in.
Yeah, they're just trying to put it in there. That bull likes his shoulder on the chute. Maverick Smith, being a taller guy, needs to be able to slide that knee up in front of his rope.
He's got Bob Mitchell there holding on to his vest.
Yeah, looks like he's going to repull.
Taking the extra time he is given. You saw the end of round 8. It's the exact opposite scenario that Casio Diaz found himself in, where Diaz, didn't have his rope set as the clock got under 10.
Yeah, that's a situation you don't ever want to end up in. Maverick Smith, great communication with the judges right there to make sure he was awarded the time.
Credit Maverick Smith for not really, let's call it, buying into the moment, right? He has stayed methodical. He has stayed calm.
Very much a Brady Fielder approach.
Hundredths away. You know he's going to hit the button. Someone already does for him. This is for the Rookie of the Year title.
Man, to be this close to a dream coming true right here is painful. If this...
Chamito tem lactobacilos paracasei e zinco, benefícios que ajudam no cuidado e na imunidade. Chamito, é coisa de gênio.
He's gonna get it.
No. There you go. So Marco Rizzo is the 2026 Rookie of the Year. We'll eventually try to talk to him about what that honor means. But sitting inside the chute, getting ready for his chance. Well, Mav, probably wishes we'd go inside the steel to the next rider, but Maserati isn't ready yet. So we're just gonna stick with Maverick, and there he is. There is Alex Cerqueda, who rode his first 3 bulls this weekend. Could not ride Mike's Motive as a re-ride earlier today. He's been paired with Maserati.
This might be the toughest matchup that Alex Cerqueda could have had. Maserati is really intense, likes to go to the right, and not a very favorable bull for Alex Cerqueda.
Ever since Sioux Falls and the shoulder injury, he's had to change his riding style, change the way he preps for each weekend. It had been going very well here in Dickey's. Coop, you laid it all out there. Maserati's fast start, way too much for Alex to handle.
That bull's just so big and strong, and you know, Alex being a left-handed guy, you've got to be absolutely perfect and dialed into that direction. 45.15 on the bull score. This championship round is stacked with talent.
It really is. When I was making my prep sheets last night at about 2 a.m., by the way, I just kept looking at bull after bull after bull. And basically what I came to realize was Pegasus and Ransom were almost the most rider-friendly bulls in the championship round.
Yeah, the greatest bulls might be the most desired bulls.
So we're gonna move on to Bob Mitchell. Blacktop Ranch's Freightliner Fever.
Man, this bull to me doesn't get enough credit. He's big, he's strong, he's everything that you could ask for in a bucking bull. And he's starting to gain that exposure, which is why he's in this championship round. Bob Mitchell has his hands full here, but could top the leaderboard at 92 or 3 points on this one.
Among the myriad of names that this bull has dispatched, mine is drawn to John Crimber. He bucked him off at the Denver event back in January.
Yeah, and that was when this bull was just kind of getting warmed up. Now he's gotten a lot more size to him and a lot more intensity.
Bob flipped off the back. There was a little bit of contact as he left the chutes.
Yeah, I think that bull hipped himself. There is a chance we could see a rewrite here. Bob is healthy enough to take it.
A flag has not been thrown.
He's got to hit the button.
He's got to get to the button, and he doesn't look like he wants any part of the challenge button at the moment.
Yeah, and that was very minimal contact. Not the typical day for Freightliner Fever. He landed really tough. Yeah, he is going to hit the button.
Well, it looks like he got the challenge in barely, because there is a time limit on hitting that button. Remember, that's a couple tough landings for Bob.
He's really been beat up throughout the finals.
So JJ Quintana has another important decision to make and to work towards. No, it stays a 0.
Right call.
É isso aí, pessoal. Se você tá torcendo pelo Brasil, deixe o seu like, beleza, pessoal? Deixa o like. Se você é atleta, tá piscando pra você que você não deixou o like ainda, deixa o like pra continuar torcendo pelo Brasil. Dê força pro brasileiro.
Standing by with Matt.
The elusive Marco Rizzo. I got to know what everybody's thinking. Where were you?
I was in the bathroom. I didn't know the short round had started. I walk in here, so I got to go help John. Next thing you know, Hudson was like, "Hey, bud, you won it. Congratulations." And I was like, "Oh, we already started." And I don't know. Now it's a good feeling now.
So now that you missed the big announcement here inside the arena and your buddy Hudson told you, how does it feel?
It's a relief. You know, shout out Maverick. I mean, Maverick pushed me to be to my absolute best this season. Not the finals I wanted, clearly, but it's just a great feeling. It's a milestone I hit in my life and a goal I've always wanted to achieve. And you only get one shot at it, right? And just super blessed. Thank you, Lord, and gave it all in God's hands and it worked out.
I know you got some buddies you want to go cheer for. Congratulations to you, the new Rookie of the Year, Marco Rizzo.
Thank you, sir.
That's Denner Barbosa getting ready on Ghost Ship Warrior. Ooh, he just reared back a little bit. There's Marco Aguche again, one of his good friends, trying to help get the bull in a better position. But Coop, back to what you said first, and then Marco reiterated it. You know, the fact that you really do only have one chance in your career to win that award. Pretty cool.
It is. It's such a huge accomplishment.
Precisa de um look para sair do trabalho e ir direto ver O Diabo Veste Prada 2 no cinema? É só pedir ao Google um visual que funcione. Afinal, o diabo mora nos detalhes.
It's a huge accomplishment.
Back to this pairing, Ghost Ship Warrior a bull that we've seen 8 times this season, has allowed a few rides, Coop. For a guy, what's the key?
Well, the key is to getting out in good shape on him and not really setting a trap, because he's very rider friendly if you let him make and commit to that left-hand turn first. If you don't, you dive up in there, he'll switch things up and go to the right. This is the first matchup that I think we have a great chance of getting a score on the board.
By the way, sounds like it's getting a little energized down there between Lucas Teodoro, who's translating for everybody but the judges, as well as Denner Barbosa, because Ghost Ship Warriors been pretty still.
He's standing pretty solid.
Well, Coop, look, the clock stopped at 6.5, so at least one judge thinks they saw a touch. Denner, however, thinks he just had a qualified ride.
Yeah, you better go hit the button, though, because that clock did stop at 6.55.
The button pressed for him. I feel like we may see every single ride the rest of the way challenged.
You might. I mean, there's so much on the line here for every single ride. You know, so far throughout this ride, there's nothing that I see that should stop the clock. Ooh, close, but no.
Yeah, that could be the only thing. This crowd watching these replays in real time as well.
They're behind him.
Crowd voting no touch at the moment.
There we go.
There you have it. The score that Coop predicted, our first score of the championship round. That's going to move Denner well up the standings. And remember, that affects the bonus points that Fielder and Krimber can possibly earn. Coop, 89-85.
Man, that is absolutely huge for Denner Barbosa. It's going to move him all the way up to number 6. What a way to finish out the finals.
Moves him ahead of Fielder and Krimber. There's going to be a celebration in the locker room in a moment. How about that? Look at that crowd. John Krimber, Clay Guyton, Marco Rizzo, Cord McCoy, Paulo Krimber, all saying congratulations, little Marco. You are the big man now, and you are this year's Rookie of the Year. Oh boy, he just needs to stay safe in there. We're gonna have a moment. Let's go back and show that round-winning ride. That was a top let's roll.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about a guy capitalizing on the opportunity to be here. Michael Lane, first round win, PBR round win, and it's been 11 years since he's been in a PBR World Finals.
Hey, Coop, back to the story he told me about his daughter calling and saying, Dad, it's so great that you won the round, but it's great that you won $50.
Yeah,
you might want to remind everybody how much he did win.
Yeah, multiply it by 1,000, 50,000.
Oh, too good. And we right, had a laugh about that, as the purity, right, of kids and just what they get excited about.
Yeah, just seeing her dad do something great, you know, winning $50 to her was pretty cool.
Huge. Hey, I'd take 50. Get me out of a couple jams.
That's right.
Johnny Dang seems a little demure at the moment, but will that change? Well, Michael's going to get a new one, no question. We've got another re-ride on tap.
Yeah, there's no question about that one.
Magic Hunter would be his bull.
That is absolutely perfect. I mean, almost a carbon copy of the bull that he won the round on last night.
Webb just let him know it'll be Magic Hunter.
And, you know, we don't get to see Michael Lane at this level very often, so he's not as familiar with a lot of these guys, or a lot of these bulls as these guys are.
Well, and I want to tell our new fans why that is. It's not because he can't ride at this level, it's because he chooses to not leave his family and ride at this level. Leandro Zampolo came into the World Finals 4th in the world, but he's only got one ride over the past 10+ days to show for it. All Magic is his dance partner.
He's been dealing with that groin injury, and it's really been affecting his ride. He was the best guy up against the elite championship caliber bulls all year long. He'd love to lead the finals on a good note. This is definitely one of the bulls that you can win around on.
Well, Leandro not able to stay on that magic carpet ride for more than 3.5. He gets a ton of credit, though, Coop, right, for soldiering through these World Finals.
Yeah, I mean, just for a guy to show up with a groin injury like he did and fight through it, knowing that it was going to not be any fun at all. Got a ton of respect for him.
How about Webb so casually they're like, hey, you might not want to go out that way.
Yeah, you might want to hold up a minute.
Webb, nice job being traffic cop there.
I'll tell you what, I hate to be, directing traffic for Brooks, but man, he had that camera and he was paying no attention to an oncoming traffic of bulls.
Yeah.
You gotta have your head on a swivel out here.
You needed one of those crossing guard vests, like, definitely
you can
look
go,
out.
Brooks, you don't.
Look out for the trucks.
Oh, man, it has been exciting out here, guys, just to feel the energy, the re-rides, the different things coming, the pressure. You can just feel it all just boiling out here. This is an absolute awesome World Finals.
Thiago Salgado, what can he do with Haymaker?
Well, he's been on him 3 times and hasn't found the answer yet. This bull is different than most bulls. A lot of bulls that spin to the left, they want to throw you off to the right. This particular bull wants to bring you down to the inside and buck you off to the left, so Thiago Salgado has to approach it a little differently.
Well, he needs to approach nodding with urgency at the moment, under 10 seconds. Tossed dispassionately, and he lands at 6.5.
He did so good of making it past the toughest part of that ride, which was falling off to the inside. If he would have loosened up towards the end, we'd have been talking about something completely different here.
Yeah, we would have been talking about him in the championship round.
That's exactly right. And one ride could be a deciding factor, and it was there.
Chad Drury, his daughter Addie, that was their bull, making sure he was okay. Here we go, 2024 PBR World Champ Casio Diaz. This ride could earn him a spot in the championship round, but not many go the distance aboard Lieutenant Dan.
No, this bull is really tricky. You don't really know what to expect out of him. There's a lot of intensity. This bull can be pretty mean too.
A Miranda quer o quê?
Como vamos achar?
Já encontrei, já tá a caminho.
Uau, rápido?
Já compartilhei com a Miranda.
Important decision to make and to work toward.
90.75. This is the exact matchup that John would have dreamed about having right here. Big time bull ride, and he has a chance to do it all over again, but this time for a gold buckle.
I feel like collectively, Dickey's Arena is holding their breath. They all know what is at stake. Crimber will block it all out of his mind because all that matters is what's underneath him.
All the dreams, all the expectations that everybody's had for John Crimber come down to this right here.
Coop, you've been there. It can become quite the moment. Clay Guyton holding on to his vest. All the way. Clutch from Crimber. This is going to be another huge total, Coop.
Man, this is going to be huge. And John Crimber back against the wall. What's he do, Craig?
92.9, my friend.
Yeah, this is the first day that we have seen in the World Finals where John Crimber opens up and starts to have fun bull riding again. That's why he's the #1 man in the world. John Crimber just did everything in his power to get that gold buckle.
Coop, you had been telling us for 2 weeks he looked tight. Today, forget about it. With family and friends looking on, his two scores today, 91.35, 92.9.
And two huge scores. That's what he needed coming into today. And he was able to accomplish it. Big time stuff for John Crimber.
Exactly what he needed. The world #1 coming in to the finals, trying to be the world champion, leaving it. Paulo Rossetto, freedom fighter.
This is a great matchup right here. This is Webb's bush light pick of the pin, and yeah, this should be a great matchup for Paulo.
Rossetto gets his second inside Dickey's, and that one certainly becomes helpful.
Yeah, we're gonna see another 90-point ride right here. He's throwing that helmet all around. He is fired up. And there's no better feeling than leaving the championship round on a high note.
The only guy in the sport that can ride with
É isso aí, pessoal. Deixa o like na transmissão, pessoal. Se a tela tá piscando para você que você não deixou o like, deixa o like para continuar.
And Paulo Rossetto, been so much fun to watch all year long. Being able to switch hands, got something special.
That puts him in 3rd overall. By the way, John Crimber's total moved him to 5th. As Rossetto accepts congratulations. And now we get to see Brady Fielder. It's pretty simple. If Brady Fielder bucks off Ransom, John Crimber is our world champion. If Brady can ride Ransom for the first time out of 4 tries, this isn't over.
Yeah, how bad do you want it? How deep can you dig right here? This is what it's all about in professional bull riding, the best versus the best.
There is no way John Crimber's going back to the locker room. He's a fan of bull riding. He's a historian of this sport. He knows with all this on the line, the place to be is either out on the dirt or up on the chutes.
Yeah, Ransom needing 47.3 to win the Bull of the Year race. Lots at stake for both rider and bull on this one out.
We've only seen this a few times in history, right? Where an
Eudora Ciage Resgate Imediato, com até 30% de desconto. Resgate de danos que parecem não ter solução no melhor preço do ano. Aproveite e compre agora. Eudora Ciage.
Brady Fielder is down. He's gonna hit the challenge button, or at least somebody did. So let's save the superlatives for a few seconds. Let's sort this out. Tough landing for Brady.
Really tough landing, and the amount of try that Brady Fielder was putting out, 47.35 on the bull score.
So that means Ransom's our world champion.
Huge.
You just announced it to the world. He needed 47.3. Ransom has done it.
Just enough, and that was one of the best outs we've seen all year from a bull. Brady Fielder, the amount of heart and try that he was given to ride the world champion bucking bull. Absolutely astronomical.
So the bull race is decided. And he's gonna get a score. So JJ has said Brady is getting points. This race isn't decided.
Check the time.
Okay, this has gotten confusing, so I'm just gonna give you the facts we're getting. Ransom is getting called for a shoot foul, which Coop, I think means he doesn't get the score.
Yeah, I mean, there's
that
so
means
many
Ransom
things.
Doesn't win. So Riley Gagnon confirming that Fielder will get a re-ride because of this shoot foul.
Yeah, and you know, that's a little surprising to me because I didn't see enough right there, in my opinion, to warrant a re-ride. Great break for Brady Fielder, though. His dreams are still alive in this world champion race.
But Ransom's aren't.
Yeah.
Well, now we're being told Ransom's score is going to count.
Yeah, in a situation like this, when the ride went on, the score is going to count. Ransom is still going to be the world champion bucking bull at the end of the year. Just a good break for Brady Fielder.
So Fielder gets another chance to show off his form. The facts land this way. Ransom is your 2026 world champion. His score counts by 5/100ths of a point. He got what he needed, Coop.
Yeah, and well-deserved. I mean, that, in my opinion, was the rankest bull going up and down the road all year. Put up some huge bull numbers, and in his final out, was able to do just enough to surpass Pettis.
Bob Mitchell, re-ride. Well, lights out had been the bull all season. That had helped the guys to the pay window, but he does not help out Bob Mitchell here.
Yeah, even the nicest of bulls in the championship round still get one every now and then, lights out. 7 90-point rides, or 11 90-point rides and 7 event wins, but Bob Mitchell still wasn't able to make a qualified ride on today. 44.75 on a bull score.
Riddle me this, Coop, man. How well have you been able to follow all this around the last few minutes? Because it's gotten a tad confusing for me.
It has, and you know, there's so many rules in situations like this that, you know, that's why the rules are in place.
Absolutely, that's why you have a rule book, which every rider is supposed to know. At the moment, the facts are Ransom is your world champion bucking bull. We know the guy in the blue shirt is the rookie of the year, but will John Crimber end up being the 2026 world champion? If it's in his future, it's because of his 2 rides today. The one we're watching there, 92.9, a top Tigger. Forget about it. With family and friends looking on, His two scores today, 91.35, 92.9.
And two huge scores. That's what he needed coming into today. And he was able to accomplish it. Big time stuff for John Crimber.
Exactly what he needed. The world #1 coming in to the finals, trying to be the world champion, leaving it. Paulo Rossetto, freedom fighter. Get ready in the middle of July.
Yeah, you don't ever see that kind of emotion out of Casio Diaz. Ooh, frustration.
He had the sports medicine team jumping right there.
Yeah, they better have to work on each other.
Who carries who back into sports med if they're carrying their own?
I don't know.
Mason Taylor, Kippers, Rippers. He showed excitement when I talked to him earlier. Coop, should he be excited?
No.
Okay.
This is a big, scary one. This one you better try to find some excitement though and dig deep because Kippers Ripper.
É isso aí, pessoal, para você ver daqui a pouco o rodeio aí ao vivo, o Brasil aí vai estar sendo representado pelo Fábio. Deixe o seu like, beleza, pessoal? Deixe o seu like se você quiser que o Fábio ganhe. Se a tela tá piscando para você, é que você não deixou o like ainda, deixe o like para continuar.
You can tell I'm at the point in this World Finals that our fans know, right? Enough said. When you see that clock getting down, if that rider doesn't sense the urgency, nothing we say is going to telegraph it.
Yeah, I mean, they can't hear us up here, and you know, you just you start hoping that they're going to nod sooner than later. Mason's dealing with some injuries himself.
Yeah, it's the hip injury, or as you said, injuries on both sides of his hips that have really hurt him all season long and may continue to hurt him if he can't deal with it in his career. This is Eduardo Aparecido's re-ride. What a great pairing for him, July.
Yeah, this is absolutely perfect.
But instead, he will miss out on the championship round by, it looks like, 1 spot.
Man, and that's going to sting because he could have advanced that by a lot. July's a bull that the guys typically don't have an issue with, but away from Eduardo's hand, and even if you miss that first round, it's an uphill battle.
So barring injury, we haven't had an injury report in a while. We don't know if all 15 in the championship round, aside from Dalen Swearingen, are in. But did you notice, there he is, by the way, Marco Gucci, the great former rider, PBR Finals winner.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember some of the rides he put together that year. It was so phenomenal.
Great to see Marco in the house. We've got another re-ride. It's Michael Lander points that could actually make all the difference.
That's exactly right.
Red Demon, a bull that, well, can be a tad devilish.
Yeah, this is one of those bulls you did not want in this round.
And Davino just found that out in real time. Only 2 and change.
He turned from a bull rider to a bullfighter pretty quick there. Red Demon has a good day. Lots of airtime. 46.3 on the bull score. You know, the more room that bull has, the better he is. Lucas Davino looking back right here.
That's awesome. Well, look, I mean, he's always so good visiting with Kate and Matt. I mean, maybe he's got a career change to break, you know, in his next interview.
I would bet not.
He shakes it off. We'll see him again, that's for sure. It's time to highlight Manuelito de Sosa Jr. He only made 2 championship rounds throughout the regular season. But if you're going to make another one, you make this one.
Yeah, you make the one at the World Finals. It pays all the money. Manuelito de Souza has a huge opportunity here. This is a bull that could fit him to a T. Big, strong bull. He's plucked him off before earlier this year, but Manuelito's riding better at this point than he was in February.
I'm a hostage. Great one that now Steve Viducic takes care of, he and his team. Silvano Alves there holding the vest. He knows what Championship Sunday is like, especially celebrations at Championship Sunday.
Yes, he does.
Ooh, oh, he took a stomping at the end. Thankfully seems to pop up like a daisy. But in those 2 seconds, Coop, I counted 3 slaps.
Yeah, he came down early with that free hand and just could not get it off of him. It was sketchy there at the end, tagging that left leg. Right there, just took a shot.
Webb right there with the rest of the team, as he always is. I feel like that's going to be one of those things that starts to hurt a little bit more as the day goes on.
Yeah, for sure.
Brady Fielder does you down. His re-ride opportunity and this re-ride pen in our championship round today does you down, one of the ones that a lot of guys have ridden.
Yeah, for Brady Fielder, he knows what's at stake, and the job description never changes for him. It's stay on, make the 8 seconds, and let the rest, let the chips fall where they may.
Well, that basically has been Brady's attitude his whole riding career. And it always seems to be, right, Coop, the more Australians you know, it's that typical Aussie attitude of, hey, that's just life. I'm going to give it my best and let it all.
O Nigel continua impecável em O Diabo Veste Prada 2. Quer recriar o look? Dá um Google e se inspira. Uau! Um terno de 3 peças. Autoconfiança vendida separadamente.
What an incredible way to get a qualified ride. His hand, or I should say the rope, Coop, popped, but his hand never left the rope.
Yeah, he lost the handle, but he held on to the rope all the way to the ground right here. And you get to see the heart and the determination that Brady Fielder has to make sure that he's not just going to let it slide through his fingers easily.
Absolutely incredible that Fielder gets a 4th score here in Dickies. It's worth 88.6. This crowd is going crazy. But Coop, we are getting word. It is not enough. We now know who is collecting the crown. It is John Crimber. John Crimber is your 2026 PBR World Champion.
Man, what a race it's been this year, and just to see it come down to what it did, the focus and the determination that both guys had to go through to fight for this world title.
This is Claudio Montagna Jr., Buck Nasty.
This would have been everybody's last pick in the pen. Claudio Montagna Jr. is going to have to get tough and find the answers that not many or anybody has had the answers, and that's riding Buck Nasty for 8 seconds.
Julio Cesar Marquez there, using his hat to try to get the bull in a better spot. Claudio was 90.05 earlier today aboard Good Riddance. That's the bull that got him this deep into the championship round.
He's in number 5 right now. There's a big money difference in number 5 into number 3, which he could move up to.
Claudio's down at 3. He's going to finish 5th in the event. But as I mentioned a moment ago, they all went to find John at 20 years of age. The dream has become a reality. John Crimber gets to celebrate being one of the youngest world champions this sport has ever seen.
Such a huge accomplishment, and for all that he had to go through to fight to come out on top, makes it that much sweeter.
After last weekend in Cowtown, it was a small circle of those that believed John Crimber could still be this year's champion. And finally, father and son can share the real emotion of what this moment means.
Yeah, he mentioned it was for his dad. This is a special moment.
If you are not moved as you watch this, I challenge you to dig a little deeper. Because that's exactly what John had to do today, Coop. He had to dig deeper than he ever has.
Yeah, he had to dig deep, and he had to lay it all on the line. And you know, that's the mentality that got him where he is as the #1 spot, and that's how he was able to hang on to it.
Luciano de Castro, by the way, can still win the World Finals event title. He only needs 87 in the nickel to move ahead of Hudson Bolton.
Yeah, and he's been as many as 90.95 on this bull. He's got the perfect bull drawn up in this scenario. Can Luciano handle the pressure and pass up Hudson Bolton right here?
And on the flip side, right, Coop, not to be Debbie Downer, but if he bucks off, Hudson Bolton wins the World Finals event.
Yeah, I mean, that is very true. I mean, there's so much on the line with just this one ride right here. Hudson Bolton's going to have a chance to respond if he does ride nobody. But he's going to have his back against the wall.
I feel like we're back to, again, it's been so fun to actually feel the pressure of Dickies Arena change when everybody takes their last breath inside here before the guy leaves the chute.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I'm holding my breath waiting to see what's going to happen.
Luciano's still got work to do. Meanwhile, John Crimber, guess what? He might have a couple presidents to call. He could call the president of Brazil. He could call the president of the United States. He doesn't need to call the president of the Cowbros because he's right here.
Yeah, he's right there with him.
Back to Luciano.
You know, this
finish this off. Hudson Bolton.
Yeah, he's supporting everywhere today.
Luciano looks near. And he better be, because the clock's been ticking. Chance to win the second toughest title in this sport. Luch lets it slip through his fingers. Hudson Bolton is your 2026 World Finals event winner.
And Luciano, I mean, that's so upsetting. I thought it was going to come down to this right here, and Hudson Bolton have to respond to a big score. Nobody 45+ bull score, and Hudson Bolton still wants to go out on top.
And how about that? We've known since they told us to call him that. The Cowbros are a tight-knit group. John Crimber, yeah, he's gonna celebrate, but right now he's on the back of the chutes with his buddies to what he hopes is celebrating Hudson Bolton's ride.
Yeah, there's a lot of money going back with the Cowbros organization this week.
Yeah, maybe they'll reduce their dues. I might apply.
Yeah.
I don't know. Free dues for everybody.
Or increase their initiation fee, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's true, because they can. And it's an exclusive club. Darn it. Here we go. Bolton Wicked Intentions, you mentioned this is a very tough bull. Bolton's off. It's not gonna matter since he already had the title. Okay, well, guess what? Why not have another re-ride?
You might as well go polish this one off, huh? Let's go, let's go.
On the left, they're bringing him right now. There's only one left, big dog.
Of course he's gonna take it. The bull's named Game Over, but the game is not over for Bolton or the PBR season.
Yeah, I mean, $500,000. He's trying to increase it with some round money, too.
So the other thing that it may or may not affect, Coop, is back to whether or not John Crimber wins both rounds today. All that money, all those points to go along with the World Championship. Well, we got one more dance to go. We're gonna step away for just a moment.
Sooner than later. Mason's dealing with some injuries himself.
Yeah, it's the hip injury, or as you said, injuries on both sides of his hips that have really hurt him all season long and may continue to hurt him if he can't deal with it in his career. This is Eduardo Aparecido's re-ride. What a great pairing for him, July.
Yeah, this is absolutely perfect.
But instead, he will miss out on the championship round by, it looks like, one spot.
Man, and that's going to sting because he could have advanced that by a lot. July's a bull that the guys typically don't have an issue with, but
the fact that now we know where you are, Coop, we can watch you not only during the week, but anytime we want.
Yeah, it's been such a great place to be a part of and to know where you're watching it, and yeah, so much fun to be a part of.
Looking forward to a long, fruitful future with the network. We've told you before, but why not remind you, the wait is over. The 2026 PBR team season officially on sale now. Scan the QR code on your screen and lock in your seats for the 2026 PBR team season before the best tickets are gone. Best seat in the house. If you can't be here, back to watching us on Paramount. Hudson Bolton, it will be the last ride of the season, or so we think. He's already won this World Finals event title and the $500,000 that goes with it.
Yeah, what a huge payday for Hudson Bolton, and you know he's in the mindset right now though that it's not over with. He's got to go get some round money and prove why he won that title.
John Crimber on the back of the chutes right there behind Blake Sharp. Clay Guyton, there it is. There's another angle. Court McFadden, you can see there. Marco Rizzo, Mason Taylor.
This is a good matchup. Game over. Old school type of bull wants to bring a guy to the inside. Hudson Bolton has a chance here to finish out this week 8 for 9.
Well, until today, Coop, it didn't matter what the bulls were doing. Hudson had an answer for everything.
Yeah, and that's just it. I mean, Hudson Bolton has been almost perfect at the highest level of bull riding. And if it doesn't do you anything but get excited about next year.
We showed you during last night's show, Hudson Bolton now has the record of the best start ever to a World Finals career, better than Jose Vitor Leme and others. Here we go. He's off at 4. There is no shame in the way Hudson Bolton has finished the season, even though he bucked off both his bulls today. 6 for 8 over the course of the 2 weeks.
Yeah, what a huge accomplishment for Hudson Bolton, winning the PBR World Finals. And well, that kid is the real deal. John Crimber finally accomplished that goal. I say finally at 20 years old. That's a dream come true.
John Crimber is going to be hugging a lot of people over the next few days. Let's show you the final event standings. Hudson Bolton, your winner. It was the other positions, specifically of John Crimber and Brady Fielder, that decided the World Championship. He can't legally drink, but the champagne is going to flow, and the beverages, you can bet, will be offered. Let's take a look at now the final standings of the season. John wins it by almost 200 points ahead of Brady Fielder, but the fight went down to the final round. Sage Kimsey ends up 3rd overall, and Leandro Zampolo stays in the top 5. Alex Cercada rounds out the top 5 of 2026. It has been a long...
É isso aí, pessoal, em comemoração ao Brasil aí, beleza, pessoal? Garantiu aí, ó, essa conquista pro Brasil. Deixa eu falar pra vocês. É R$5.000, você tem 2 minutos para participar, beleza, pessoal? É o Brasil representando aí no rodeio, no campeonato PBR internacional, aonde a gente junta todo mundo para ver quem é os melhores. O maior doação, pessoal, leva R$5.000. Você pode vir com a gente, você pode escanear o QR Code na direita ou então a chave Pix na esquerda, tá bom, gente? O maior Pix que chegar aqui pra gente garante R$5.000 na conta bancária.
Okay.
This is a big, scary one. This one you better try to find some excitement though and dig deep, because Kipper's Ripper, he's big and strong and means business. He's on the clock too, and it's ticking.
Yeah, I mean... And Coop, I'm glad you picked that up, because as you can tell, I'm at the point in this World Finals that our fans know, right? Enough said. When you see that clock getting down, if that rider doesn't send...
Gets things back on track, Hudson Bolton bucks off, and there's a lot of moving.
Names that this bull is dispatched. Mine is drawn to John Crimber. He bucked him off at the Denver event back in January.
Yeah, and that was when this bull was just kind of getting warmed up. Now he's gotten a lot more size to him and a lot more intensity.
Bob flipped off the back. There was a little bit of contact as he left the chutes.
Yeah, I think that bull hipped himself. There is a chance we could see a reride here. Bob is healthy enough to take it.
A flag has not been thrown.
He's got to hit the button.
He's got to get to the button, and he doesn't look like he wants any part of the challenge button at the moment.
Yeah, and that was very minimal contact. Not the typical day for Freight Line Fever.
É isso aí, pessoal. Pedro Lima com R$33 garantiu essa grande premiação na conta bancária dele, beleza, pessoal? Vamos estar localizando ele aqui e já faremos o pagamento dele ao vivo. Você pode participar, você pode vir com a gente. A oportunidade está aí para todos vocês, beleza, pessoal? Pedro Lima Soares foi o grande vencedor. Basta você vir com a gente. Já temos mais uma premiação.
He's really been beat up throughout the finals.
So JJ Quintana has another important decision to make and to work towards. No, it stays a 0.
Right call.
Buck off at 5 seconds. So we mentioned after Maverick Smith bucked off his bull that Marco Rizzo is this year's Rookie of the Year. He is standing by with Matt.
The elusive Marco Rizzo. I got to know what everybody's thinking. Where were you?
I was in the bathroom. I didn't know that.
It's not just for myself. This one's for my dad, too. He's the one that brought me here to who I am, and his career was cut short, and this one's for him, not for me, so.
É isso aí, pessoal, já localizado pelo meu sistema, beleza, pessoal? O pagamento do Pedro Lima, beleza, vai sair na tela aí para vocês verem. Vocês podem vir com a gente, vocês podem vir participando das premiações PixBet ao vivo para vocês. Já pensou você com essas grandes premiações hoje no seu Pix ainda hoje? Então participe com a gente. Pedro Lima Soares, domingo 17/5/2026, às 18h55. Pagamento 100% efetuado, pessoal. Agora é R$7.000 nessa conta bancária. É a PBR Internacional, beleza? Pessoal, resolveu presentear todos vocês. Já pensou você com R$7.000 nessa conta bancária? Você tem 2 minutos para efetuar o seu Pix, beleza, pessoal? Dentro desse cronômetro, você pode entrar nessa tabela aqui da esquerda que está resetada e garantir premiações ao vivo conosco.
Guys, you know, just being back there supporting me, I'm very thankful to have them next to my corner, you know, and just being with me through all of it, you know.
Before your last huge ride, 92 points aboard Tigger, your godfather and 3-time champ, Adriano Moraes, got all of your cowbros to come over. They were going to anyways, but he wanted them to be there early. He told me there is strength in numbers, and when you're surrounded by love, nothing can go wrong. Describe that love that you have felt from your family, from your friends, from these fans to be standing right here.
You know, I think that's what motivates me to ride my bulls is my buddies. You know, sometimes we don't have that confidence, you know, and maybe a little doubt in our mind. But then whenever they come in there and start motivating you, saying cool stuff, it's like, man, I can go out there and fight a grizzly, you know, I can't lose. So if you just got them right there in your ear, oh man, it's the greatest feeling in the world. I'm just very thankful and blessed to be here, and I can't thank this crowd enough, these fans, for coming out here and supporting each and every one of us every single night. Y'all are the reason why we do this. Y'all are the reason why we ride bulls. I hope y'all know that. I'm very thankful for each and every one of y'all.
Well, there is only one thing left to do, and it is an honor after watching your season, your career, and it's only the beginning. Your 2026 PBR World Champion, John Crimber, congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
É isso aí, pessoal, faltando 28 segundos restantes para o nosso cronômetro. O Helder Azevedo tá na frente, beleza, pessoal? Com R$33, você mandando 34, 35, 40, você pode passar à frente, você pode garantir essa grande premiação agora mesmo. Eu quero ver todo mundo participando, eu quero ver todo mundo vindo conosco. Eu vou liberar o cronômetro, eu quero ver você participando, beleza, pessoal? Cronômetro liberado, qualquer valor acima de R$33, você pode garantir R$7.000 na sua conta bancária agora mesmo.
You have so much experience, you have been through so much in this sport. Your thoughts as you see one of the youngest world champions ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cool to see how John was able to handle this season with the ups and downs and the goods and the bads. And, you know, even though the finals didn't start off the way that he wanted them to, he was able to settle down when it mattered the most and was able to come out on top. And that's a huge accomplishment for him in itself. But to be one of the youngest world champions, that's something that's super, you should be really proud of if you're John Crimber.
Let's go back and touch on the bull race for a second, right? Because Pegasus put up the fight we knew he would, but Ransom's stellar outs at the end of the season, those were enough.
Yeah, and you know, that's kind of what you expected, Pegasus to really go out there and do what he had done all year long, put up good bull scores, but Ransom, he's had the capability of those huge bull scores, and it came at the right time today.
Well, as John gets handed the official world champion buckle, we're now going to get to hear from the World Finals event